Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to Armored Warfare. Today we're in the ZBD-86, a premium tank, part of a beginner bundle I covered last week. And we're in Operation Spearhead today. The People's Liberation Movement relies heavily on this refinery for the Eastern operations. Take over the refinery, don't let them get their hands on any more fuel. Some division depth with Doom Beagle and the Triple Ace. Of the battles I recorded to plan to feature this tank today, this was the second of 5 battles I played, and I felt like this one features the tank well, and I did pretty good performance in the tank in general for beginning to figure out this Armored Fighting Vehicle being a Tier 3 tank. So, in Operation Spearhead, for an AFV, Armored Fighting Vehicle, you basically start off outside here and wanting to take some cover, because if you get caught out early and spotted, you're going to lose some health.
The PLM have taken control of a gas refinery and are diverting the fuel to their base of operations. They say they take from the rich and give to the poor. But so far, all they've done is take. Move quickly and recapture the refinery.
So, with having an armored fighting vehicle, we have a mechanized infantry using the mortar. As you can hear, he's a little bit fired up. And it's a good place to kind of put him there back in behind the rock and behind the trees. Hill here, and let him get some damage in here. Basically what we're going to be doing here is we're going to try to be wise in peeking out when we feel appropriate to do so, to utilize our how do I even phrase this? Shoot the anti-tank guided missile. Yeah, I was spacing in how to say that. So we basically alternate between that and the heat, as you just saw us fire a heat round there. So it works out pretty nice. So, while we're waiting for the heat to reload, we can simply switch over to the ATGM launcher, and then we can just alternate back to the heat. So basically you're alternating between these two main armaments here. Don't really bother too much with number 2. But the number 2 other armament that you're seeing below. But basically just alternating between these two. So when you're playing this map, as I'm learning it and understanding it more, we want to be able to take our time, as I said in the beginning here, and just working and trying to support our teammates. Being a armored fighting vehicle, it means we're not necessarily going to be aggressive and pushing up, especially at the beginning of Operation Spearhead, because you just lose a lot of health and can take some big devastating hits because you're not like a main battle tank, right? So we're just going to chill here, find some windows. I often like sitting next to this rock on either side. I mean, you can even move around on the hill a little bit more, even further if you prefer, as this gives some good avenues in between several of the different building structures as you've seen here. So we're going to move up here, and a critique I'm going to have for myself here is that actually we left behind our mechanized infantry. So actually it's better if I can move him up like where I'm at now, because he's relatively safe there. And a lot of the tanks, enemy bots, will go to the square you see in F6, F7, and he can get a lot of shots in there. So this is one of those maps where the motor does really well. So I left behind some additional damage I could have dealt in this battle, unfortunately. But as you move up here, as you can kind of see here, you'd have to be mindful of some tanks that move to the left of that corridor there. We're just finding some opportunities. We're utilizing these oil pumps, gas pumps, oil pumps, whatever I'll call them, as we sneak some shots, and we're just trying to catch the different parts of the tank sticking out while not necessarily putting our health at risk. Now there's going to be a lot of tanks, the bots that die here in the middle, so it's a little bit harder to find sometimes those opportunities to get your shots off here. But we're going to keep working on it. Here you can see, all these dead tanks are kind of blocking those shots, right? They can better have in here. So I'm decided I'm going to go ahead and push up a little bit more because I can in turn use these dead tank bodies. So here we take a bit small hit, but we're able to cycle both the heat and then to the HEGM launcher. And then now we have our teammates here in the cap with us. Find ourselves a little cozy hole right here. Get some damage there on the side. As we're trying to find those places where we are going to pin, you know, if it's red, you're not going to pin. If it's like orange, it's like maybe. Yellow's better, and then green, of course, you will be able to pin. Even though sometimes the enemy tank moves a little bit and you don't get that full pin damage. So here I'm trying to find the angle here, and it's not quite happening. You don't have enough tonnage really to push dead tank bodies out of your way. And he goes down. So it's pretty much just a kill fest here in the middle once your teammates push in and take control here. And we're doing this in Hardcore 2, I believe. So we've completed the secondary objectives, which is great. So now it's basically just captured the fuel refinery, which at this point we'll do in 30 seconds as long as no one leaves the cap. Sometimes people will leave the cap and they'll go hunt for that last tank wherever he might be across the map. And I like to end sometimes just shooting some random structures with these. I think it's a 7.62mm machine gun that you have. So that works out quite well against the really small, lightly armored vehicles as well. So you can keep that in mind. But this is going to bring the battle to a close with the ZBD-86. And it is quite a fun tank to play. Fun tank, fun armored fighting vehicle to play. So we're going to go ahead into the post-battle results. Yeah, we were in hardcore, so it's a victory. And we're going to place, I believe it's third on the team here once the results pop up. Well, first, so it's going to show us our overview of what we did in the battle. Some of the things, it kind of takes a little bit of time for this screen to load. So you're never sure quite when it's going to pop up, but for me, I have a longer load screen time for the immediate battle results. So we did 11,100 damage. We got 1 spotted, 6 destroyed. Overall, pretty good, decent damage there. Third on the team, 6 kills, 7 assists, 11,100 damage. The 1 spotted, 1,816 assist damage, and 749 experience. Here we're going to scroll down. You see we've fired 69 shots. Checking out our mechanized infantry, did 2,421, so not too bad. He even did some spotting for himself, but we probably could have got more spotting damage with our mechanized infantry if we would have had moved up, as I critiqued myself there. So I kind of forgot about him. Parts of getting used to a newer tank, right? So all in all, fun tank for myself in starting off here at tier 3. Just trying to get my head more wrapped around this game. I've been playing a lot lately and it's been rather enjoyable. And I'll feature the other tank. I think it's a tank destroyer, if I remember correctly. The 2S-14 Zalo S, the experimental light, highly mobile Soviet self-propelled gun from the 1980s. So I'll feature that next week. I have already a video to showcase that in mind. So I hope you liked the Armored Warfare content today. So if you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you're subscribed, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Feel free to, for those of you who are more veterans experienced in Armored Warfare, if you want to give me some tips and tricks along the way, I highly welcome them, and I'm sure other people watching this video would appreciate as well interacting in the comments and how they can better improve themselves in Armored Warfare, just like myself. So until next time, take care.